Blessings, friends. It's Maia here with an Astro update. Today, April 1st, we have a full moon in the diplomatic, peaceful, and charismatic sign of Libra at 12 degrees. Those of you who have planets in the cardinal signs of Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, or planetary placements in your natal chart around 12 degrees will likely feel the effects of this full moon the most. A full moon is when the sun and the moon oppose each other in the sky, creating a tension peak coming to fruition or culmination point. On a positive level, this lunation can be easygoing, social, collaborative, romantic, pleasurable, and in search of tranquility and balance. On a challenging level, this lunation can be indecisive, codependent, self-indulgent, and impatient. You can look back to the Libra new moon during October of 2025 to see what themes occurred then that are coming to a culmination point now. Libra highlights themes of personal relationships, business relationships, committed partnerships, marriages, contracts, negotiations, agreements, and legal documents. We may see some of these themes highlighted in our individual life or the collective at large. The ruler of this lunation is Venus, the planet of love, beauty, money, and harmony. Venus is currently in her domicile where she's most apt to express herself fully and freely, especially in regards to earthly pleasures. However, Venus is also squaring Pluto at this time, the planet of death, rebirth, destruction, and regeneration. This square offers us an opportunity for a diamond polishing moment. Venus square Pluto transits during a full moon can emphasize intense turning point decisions around relationships, seeking harmony, money matter decisions that need to be had, which can no longer be put off, all for optimum realignment. This lunation is also squaring Jupiter, the planet of luck, abundance, and growth. This can represent current endings and peaks occurring that are necessary for future blessings and growth ahead. Jupiter exalted in the water sign of Cancer now can also emphasize intense feelings, emotions, and sentimentality. Overall, full moons in Libra can highlight socially parting ways, adjustments, and realignment in relationships for greater balance and harmony. Money stories can be shifting, and illumination around actions and decisions can occur. Mercury, the planet of information and communication, is in its fall in Pisces still, whilst conjunct the north node of our destiny. This could be illuminating, foggy communication, having to do with intense drive around our destiny and purpose. What area of life will this full moon in Libra be happening for you based upon your rising sign? For Libra rising, this full moon will be happening in your first house. This could be a breakthrough, energy, ending, or completion around yourself, your identity, outward appearance, physical body, and new endeavors. For Scorpio rising, this full moon will be happening in your 12th house. This could be a breakthrough, ending, or completion around the hidden realms, mysticism, imagination, subconscious programming, self-undoings, jails and hospitals, as well as retreats, ashrams, music, and art. For Sagittarius rising, this full moon will be happening in your 11th house. This could be breakthroughs, endings, or completion around large groups of people, friendships, networking, organization, progressive ideas, as well as future hopes and wishes. For Capricorn rising, this full moon will be happening in your 10th house. This could be breakthroughs, endings, or completions around your career, work, public image, status, authority, leadership, notoriety, and achievement. For Aquarius rising, this full moon will be happening in your 9th house. This could be breakthroughs, endings, or completion having to do with long-distance travel, higher learning, philosophies, religion, beliefs, publishing and teaching, pilgrimages, gurus, and government institutions. For Pisces rising, this full moon will be happening in your 8th house. This could be breakthroughs, endings, or completion around shared money, shared resources, investments, inheritances, taxes, loans, psychology, the occult, intimacy, and deep bonds. For Aries rising, this full moon will be happening in your 7th house. This could be breakthroughs, endings, or completion having to do with personal relationships, business relationships, marriages, contracts, negotiations, agreements, and legal documents. For Taurus rising, this full moon will be happening in your 6th house. This could be breakthroughs, endings, or completion having to do with your work, employment, coworkers, daily routine, diet, exercise, rental agreements, debt, organization, as well as small pets and animals. For Gemini rising, this full moon will be happening in your 5th house. This could be breakthroughs, endings, or completion having to do with your creativity, romance, self-expression, children, joy, hobbies, celebration, entertainment, and small businesses. For Cancer rising, this full moon would be happening in your 4th house. This could be breakthroughs, endings, or completion having to do with one's home life, family, property, emotional security, inner safety, ancestral roots, and tradition. For Leo rising, this full moon would be happening in your 3rd house. This could be breakthroughs, endings, or completion having to do with your communication, how one thinks and speaks, community, local travel, transportation, neighborhoods, short-form learning and writing projects, online content, as well as extended family and siblings. And last but not least, for Virgo rising, this full moon would be happening in your 2nd house. This could be breakthroughs, endings, or completion having to do with one's income, how you make money, saving, earning, and spending styles, physical material possessions, personal resources, food styles, and self-esteem. Libra full moon blessings to you all.